Ciao ragazzi, welcome back. Claudio Gigante here with Giga Racing with MotoGP talk. Valencia won and the race. Race was amazing, really interesting. Yoamir right at the back of me. Congratulations to him. He won the race, well deserved it. The race, I would say, was a little bit flat. From the beginning of the race, we saw Alex Rins getting right behind Pol Espargaro. Pol Espargaro got passed by Alex Rins. And then you can see how Yoamir kind of waited, didn't rush into the pass. He didn't want to make a mistake. He didn't want to throw it down. So he took his time to pass Pol Espargaro, managed to pass Paul. We saw that, unfortunately, Quartararo made another mistake again. When Quartararo there is to deliver, I feel that under pressure it tends to break easily. It's still really young, super talented rider, but he did make a mistake. He didn't give up though. He got back on the bike and tried to recoup. So Yoamir, fantastic. He waited a little bit, then he passed Pol Espargaro, and then he waited. This is my favorite technique. I tell every rider that racers that they wanted to win a race. That's what you do. You don't rush into the pass. It was obviously faster than Alex Rins. We could see it right from the warm-up, top of the timesheet on warm-up. The pace was there. He knew that he would have been up front. It just had to wait. He waited for the mistake of Alex Rins, which it did make a mistake, lap 16, and Yoamir was right there to bounce on. Now Yoamir did what is really important. He put pressure on Alex Rins. If you watch the last 2-3 laps prior to Alex Rins making a mistake, Yoamir was right behind him, just putting the hammer down, putting that pressure into the rider in front of him. And sure enough, Alex Rins made a mistake. Through some of the videos that I watched, some people said that, that Alex Rins kind of faked the mistake. I really don't think so. Nothing was given to Yoamir. Yoamir really deserved the win. Yoamir and Alex Rins, they don't really get along. Of course, they have a very diplomatic and very professional way to interact between each other, but they don't really go alone. They want to beat each other. So Alex Rins definitely, to my opinion, did not make a favor, did not give a favor to Yoamir and made a mistake. But Yoamir played it perfect. He waited for the mistake. Alex Rins made a mistake. He bounced right up front, and you can see from the lap time, he put the hammer down. He did the best laps on those next 3-4 laps. He put the best laps, open up a little gap, and then just maintain it and cruise to victory. Perfectly run race. Now, I find that the race was a little bit boring. I spoke to some friends. They say, oh my God, boring race. Yeah, it was kind of boring. Pol Espargaro did not do anything behind there. I think that KTM had the possibility, and I think KTM has the possibility to do better than what he does. It just doesn't have the right riders that they can win with that bike. But Pol Espargaro, I was a little bit disappointed. I expected more from him. So as you can see, my prediction, I guess 2 riders right. I thought Alex Rins was going to be on the podium, and Pol Espargaro was going to be on the podium. And I put Quartararo in. Well, let's talk about Quartararo a little bit. The beginning was okay. He chose a hard front, hard rear. It looked like it was going to be okay, and then he had the tire pressure problem again. Let's face it. This weekend it was a very strange weekend. Nobody had really practiced with the condition of the race in a dry setting, in a good weather. There was none of that practice through the whole weekend. So who has the best package out there to put together the bike for the race in an easier way is a Suzuki. Suzuki adapt a lot more. Did you notice how, every other bike, they suffer when they're behind for a long time behind another rider because they say they overheat the front? Well, Johan Mir was behind Alex Marquez for a very extensive time, did not have that problem. The bike is super well balanced. It's a very gentle on the tires. And even like through the race, in the 27 laps, the tire, it doesn't drop as much with the Suzuki, and the Suzuki doesn't change that much. And if you realize that the weight changes dramatically, because, at the beginning of the race, they have a full tank, and at the end of the race, it's nearly empty tank. You saw how Alex Rins ran out of gas a couple of races back. So the bike performs very similar at every lap through the race. Looking at the lap time, for example, for Johan Mir, well, second lap, because first lap I never calculated, 1:32.3, and then the second last lap 1:32.4. So identical lap time. The bike didn't drop at all. This is what the secret is on the Suzuki. Adapt really well with the tires. Does not wear the tires in a particular way that affects the performance at the end of the race or at the beginning of the race. It's a really stable and equal performance through the entire race, and that's what is winning them races. That's what is making them the strongest bike out there. Now you can notice even on power on the straightaway, they don't lose much, even in compared to the KTM, because they were saying, the KTM, has so much more power, is so much faster. Well, I didn't see that through the race. Paul in the straightaway wasn't getting really close and be able to pull a pass on the other two. So I think it's just the Suzuki has a full package, really good. Reliability is good. Handling on the bike and tire wear is fantastic. And the engine has power. It's really good. Everything is good. Yamaha, again, so much talking over the weekend. They still talking about this valve situation. Again, I'm going to bring it up for the last time. I think it was correct decision was made. The riders didn't take any advantage about the valves because there was no better performance. It was just a reliability issue. So if you're saying that they can't change those valves, well, what are they going to do next year? I mean, it's going to happen the same thing. They're going to blow motors, so might as well they should just stay home and just relax. Don't even bother going to a race. So reliability is not something that you can close an eye and don't penalize like they did the riders, because reliability should all bike be reliable and should we all be able to finish the race. Now they know that the problem was that valves, and those valves were changed. The material was a little bit different. What the story is, at the end of the day, they did not gain any better performance. They just gained reliability, so I think it was fine. On saying that, Valentino had another breakdown. Listening to Valentino interviews, he said that when he felt that the bike broke down, he actually didn't get mad like he usually do, but he was kind of laughing. I guess the riders are losing, the interest on the Yamaha motor and this way that it's performing this year. You can see, like, if you feel like laughing rather than getting angry, obviously, it's a problem that is out there. Valentino also point out and compliment the Suzuki a lot. I don't know if it's right, to point out to your team and to your factory that they should look at Suzuki and learn. That was kind of the message that Valentino wanted to send. I think that's not right for him to do that. It's almost like bashing your own boss that's paying your paycheck and that's giving you a bike. Yamaha, yes, they did have problems. They tried to solve the problems. I also give the fault to Lorenzo this year, because in all fairness, Yamaha did not have a test rider. Okay, because Lorenzo didn't do anything for Ducati. There was so much gossip this weekend about Lorenzo going to Aprilia, about Lorenzo being a test rider for KTM. I mean, there's been so much talk about that. And then the other big talk was the Dovizioso, which the guy never won anything, like Lorenzo made a statement, made a tweet or something, saying that though so his expectation about, he was saying, or I heard a rumor that he was saying that, Aprilia is not good enough for him. Like, really? So you have no right, and you're saying that Aprilia is not good enough, is not investing enough on the project. I mean, that's really bad. So going back to the race, my favorite, which is sorry guys, Morbidelli. Franco did have problem and tried to stay up front at the beginning, and then again did have problem with pressure on tire pressure with the tires. I think this was a combination between Michelin problem that, but we have a problem with those tires, with the construction of the tires. Every rider is kind of suffering except Suzuki. Yamaha and Ducati, two good manufacturers, have not made that tire work this year. Yamaha at the beginning a little bit, but now they're having issues as well. And also the fact that there was so much problem on Yamaha this weekend. So it's, the stuff that some people get diagnosed with COVID and all that stuff, and the pressure. I think there was too many things going on with Yamaha this weekend, and things just didn't work out. Vinales again, same thing, close 13. Again, I can't blame Vinales. He started from the pit lane because they put a new engine on. They had to seal a new engine and put that in. So he was starting from the pit lane, and again, they couldn't get the right setup. Half of his team was not there. So I'm not gonna blame it on him. I usually pretty hard with Vinales, but not today. And everybody else, as we said, Valentino Rossi breakdown. Kyle Klatscher didn't finish. Alex Marquez crashed as well, almost took out Dovizioso, which, in all fairness, finished 10 seconds behind, but it was after Miller. It was the first factory Ducati, and even in comparing Miller, he was very close. He was only 2 seconds behind Miller, so not too bad, around 2 seconds behind. Zarco, which I was expecting more from him, he closed in 9th position just before Petrucci, 11 seconds behind, and Petrucci 16 seconds behind. And the rest we spot. Fabio Quartararo crashed as well. He was following Alessio Spargaro. Alessio Spargaro crashed, and he by instinct grabbed some brakes and crashed as well. So again, under pressure, he made a mistake, which I was expecting from Quartararo. So I'm gonna wrap it up for today. That closes for the race. Congratulations to Johan Mir. He definitely worked the best through the weekend, and also in the race. He played the race perfect, and yes, the race was quite boring. I wish again that Valentino was up front, that Morbidelli was up front, that Quartararo was up front, so all the good riders were back there, and of course we're missing Alex Marquez, which we have the bad news that he's not coming back, not even for the last 2 races. As I predicted earlier, I don't know if you remember, you guys, a couple of weeks ago, I said I don't think Alex is gonna come back. Mark Marquez. I always confuse the two of them. My apologies. Mark Marquez is not going to come back. I hope really is gonna recover. All the news have been kept, like all the updates have been kept a little bit of secret from Honda and from himself as well. Apparently he's training, but I don't know. There is a problem with the calcification of the bone, apparently, of his arm. So let's hope that we can see a Mark back on the track. I mean, it's always a show watching him fighting with the other riders, and maybe we'll see a little bit more fighting. And that's it, guys. So thank you again for watching MotoGP Talk by Claudio Giganti and Giga Racing. We'll see you tomorrow's pre-race, and then Friday we're going to talk a little bit about the free practice 1 and 2. Let's see what comes out of there. We're going to talk a little bit about the press conference. I did not talk about Iannone. We'll talk in the future about that too. I just don't want to keep you guys too long. Thank you again for watching Giga Racing. Ciao ragazzi.